It is remarkable to think a year ago, many of us didn't even know what DeFi was. And here we are making video series on how to navigate the overwhelming amount of detail necessary to really participate in it. And there are forces both propelling us forward and holding us back. First off, in DeFi we have composability, which enables such network effects to grow Ethereum. Composability refers to the ability to compose applications and protocols, to stack them on top of each other. And it's why Ethereum has the largest, most active developer conferences. And it's why the number of developers that build on Ethereum dwarfs all other blockchains, including those contributing to Bitcoin. This composability brings lots and lots of builders together. The more applications and protocols launched, the more tools developers have available to build with, and so on. They can all be stuck on top of each other. That's why we call them money Legos. It's a flywheel of innovation and probably the one attribute about Ethereum that kind of makes it impossible to replicate. And this, of course, is where money Lego comes from. In DeFi, each money Lego can stack and fit with lots of other money Legos to benefit the overall systemic growth of DeFi and the community's ability to release newer and better applications and to do it faster and to generally just innovate. DeFi started with trailblazers like MakerDAO and DAI and Kyber seemingly years ago now. And we're at the point now of not being surprised to have access to DeFi-powered options, yield automation, and even insurance. Now, the opposite of composability, which is the good thing, is complexity. And complexity may well be the biggest enemy to adoption and part of what holds back DeFi from growing even faster. Not everyone can be financially and technologically literate to leverage these new money softwares built on Ethereum. The complexity of DeFi might impress your friends and family at dinner, but try telling that to your girlfriend or boyfriend. It can also be off-putting to those not wanting to spend days and nights learning about how to use DeFi. And crypto is hard enough, but DeFi adds another layer of complexity on top. So what is DeFi's greatest opportunity is also one of its greatest challenges. More need to be educated to benefit from this more democratized access to technology. Secondly, we have the permissionlessness of DeFi to enable anyone, anywhere to participate with an internet connection and a minimal amount of funds they're brave enough to deposit. Now, we might still be in the early days and have barely scratched the surface of long-term visions to bank the unbanked, but we are now living through radical access and opportunity for anyone, anywhere to launch software that can take in hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of liquidity without asking anyone's permission. And they do it fast as well. Ethereum is a sandbox for building DeFi money games, and everyone's invited to play. Just exercise a modicum of caution. Now, the opposite of permissionlessness might be regulatory risks. Now, DeFi plays in a space of innovation that has, of course, caught the eye of regulators across the world, most notably with the near $20 billion in stablecoins. And in 2021, we can expect increased regulatory threats to those building and participating in the DeFi community. And lastly, we have the DeFi community, which is mainly a subset now of the Ethereum community. And not only does Ethereum have an estimated 500,000 active addresses and 1 million users at the end of 2020, and we talked earlier about Ethereum and hence DeFi on Ethereum having so many multiples more of developers working in its ecosystem compared to any other blockchain, including the second most active community of developers on Bitcoin. And the opposite of this vibrant and burgeoning community, it's worth noting the challenge is still high gas prices and the reality that few in the world have access to DeFi, with only so many have an internet connection or smartphone or the minimal funds needed to pay such high gas prices. Sure, you don't have to ask permission, and DeFi grew liquidity by over 30x in 2020, but what about being priced out from the ability to use DeFi? And even just in the last couple of days, all I've heard is grumbling from people saying, "Yeah, this is too expensive, gas." We're going to hear a lot more of that. So this past year has brought us gas prices from 10 Gwei to between 500 to 1,000 Gwei on the most active and volatile days on Ethereum. Thankfully, this is a challenge countless ETH2 researchers have been working on for years now. And with the launch of Phase 0 of Ethereum 2.0, the coming upgrade to Proof of Stake, we can see some light at the end of the tunnel for these painfully high fees that show up whenever DeFi gets busier with new applications and trading activity. But of course, we also have other Layer 1 protocols with faster transactions and lower fees and bridges to put them all together. Plus we have L2 solutions as well. So the future is looking bright. I don't think high gas fees are going to be a problem for much longer. Now the key takeaway here is DeFi, much like other transformational technologies that came before it, such as the internet, has huge opportunity and huge challenges ahead. Now, if this really is the internet of money, we might liken where we're at to the 1990s, but humans have a knack for underestimating exponential growth. We might actually be living to the 1980s or an earlier parallel time frame in DeFi. Now, no matter where we are in that journey, there's no doubt that DeFi is a genie that you are not going to see put back in the bottle. This is not ICOs all over again. You've been watching DeFi 101. Do be sure and check out the other videos in this series and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the new videos as they drop. And above all, stay safe out there.